Hello, and thanks for stopping by as we go through a in-depth look at the Kyocera DuraMax. The Kyocera DuraMax is the latest and greatest product release from Kyocera for the Sprint family of phones, and the Kyocera DuraMax is designed and performs exclusively on the Sprint network. So what I'd like to do over the next few minutes is talk about the key benefits and features of the Kyocera DuraMax and how this phone could be a great success in your day in and day out wireless needs. Now, first and foremost, when you get this in your hand, you're going to feel the DuraMax from Kyocera is very solid, very reliable, and it's going to feel comfortable. And that's in large part due to the fact that on all four sides, and the top and the bottom, it's covered in this rubber DuraGrip casing. And that's going to protect it from those accidental drops when we reach into our pocket and it fumbles onto the ground or the concrete, and all of a sudden we've got a scratch or a dent in it. And I tell you, I know this is just a countertop here, but you're not going to have to worry about the Kyocera DuraMax taking a fall because, again, this DuraGrip cover is going to be very helpful. We could take a walk into virtually any service and repair store across the country right now and find phones with broken hinges, cracked screens, broken antennas, and all those customers are waiting without their device. And all too often we forget and we take for granted how convenient it is to have a cell phone until we're without it. So the Kyocera DuraMax takes that worry out because it's not going to have to be repaired, because it's going to be able to take those nice little falls accidentally from your hip, from your waist, wherever you're dropping the phone from, because we all know we drop our phones, right? So it's nice to have that protection. Now, Kyocera is going to take that protection to a whole other level by making this an 810G military spec certified device. And what that means is, without getting too technical and too scientific, it's going to be covered for dust, shock, vibration. It's going to cover water immersion, so we're going to let this bad boy go swimming shortly, but we'll come back to the water in a minute. It's also going to cover extreme temperature shifts. So if you are a worker in a cooler environment or an HVAC environment where you're constantly going in and out of hot and cold temperatures regularly, you're going to want this kind of protection on your device because those kind of temperature shifts have a dramatic negative effect on a cell phone. So you're going to want to have that protection. Now, how about solar radiation? And no, we're not talking about a trip to the sun, but I tell you what, if we accidentally leave our phone in the car, which I know many of us do, on a hot sunny day, we may as well send our phone to the sun because that car then becomes an oven and it bakes whatever's in it. So a cell phone is going to be very hurt by excessive heat. So we want to make sure we have protection in those environments as well. You're also going to be protected from salt fog if you happen to work near an ocean or salt water. And blowing rain and more also situations you're going to be protected from as well due to the 810 military spec certification. So as if that's not enough protection from the outside, let's turn on the inside and see what we've got on the inside. We've got a fantastic 8-hour talk time on the battery. And I tell you, that's going to be a great tool to get through your day. 8 hours is a fantastic amount of talk time on any phone today. You're also going to have Sprint Direct Connect. Now, the great thing about Sprint Direct Connect is this is the tool that allows you to talk to IDEN customers or other Sprint Direct Connect customers through walkie-talkie using voice over IP. So that's a very powerful feature if you're interested. But if that's not your cup of tea and you don't need the walkie-talkie, you can reprogram this walkie-talkie button to be an alarm button, a Bluetooth button, or a calendar button. So again, Kyocera is going to take that step to allow you to personalize this device so that it can be the best possible device for you. Now, let's take a look at the back here real quick. 3.2 megapixel camera with a camcorder capability so you can capture those special moments whether you're at work or at play. And then we also have on the front a very nice speakerphone up front, as well as a 1-inch high contrast display that's going to make it for very easy reading if you're caught out in direct sunlight. Okay? Now, speaking of ease of use, one of the things that makes this phone so good is when you activate the phone from Sprint, these are the fonts that you get. It's a pretty decent font, very easy to read, not too hard, but some customers have vision issues, but also some customers work in dusty and dirty environments. So larger fonts would be a huge help to them. So the Kyocera DuraMax offers you this capability, and let me show you how you do it. Simply hit the menu key right here, the circle key, then press your options key right here in the upper right, and then press number 2. And now you're going to have the largest font size that Sprint offers on their phones, and it makes it very easy to read for those vision challenged customers or those customers who need to find themselves in dusty or dirty environments. Okay? Now, let's say you're looking to purchase this phone for a coworker or a family member, and you're concerned about how the phone is going to be used. Well, the great thing about the Kyocera DuraMax is you're going to have the ability to program who they can call, who they can receive calls from, who they're allowed to text, and you're also going to be able to limit their camera usage and their web access. So if that feature is important to you, then it's very important that you consider the Kyocera DuraMax as a solution, because this will be a great tool to keep those wireless bills down, again, if this is a concern to you. So let me do one more demonstration on the phone itself before we play with some water here. I mentioned that it's got a very nice DuraGrip cover to it, and I just want to point out the hinge. You know, the hinge is protected on the inside. Most hinges are on the outside here, and if you drop it on the edge like that, you know, you could crack the hinge and really easily destroy the phone. But the phone is designed well. It's got a reinforced hinge in the middle here, and I like to do the pressure test here because it's important for you to see that if your phone gets run over, I don't think you're going to have to worry about it, and you're going to come out in flying colors because the hinge has a super reliable hinge on it. Okay, so let's have some fun. But before we throw it in the water, let me move this up forward here a little bit so we can see it and hear it ring. But before we dunk it in the water, let's make sure our charging ports are closed and our earpiece jack is closed. So that port is closed, this port is closed, and we also want to make sure our battery door is slid locked. That way it seals the battery so you don't have any water seepage in the battery. Now, again, this is going to be great for those people who have kids who throw their phone in the toilet. I've heard hundreds of stories where kids have thrown it in the toilet and they've had to go out and buy a new phone or file an insurance claim. Or you've jumped in the pool and, oh, the phone's in my pocket. You have to go out and buy a new phone or file an insurance claim. But here we go. You don't have to with the Kyocera DuraMax. You throw it right in the water. It's going to be good for up to 30 minutes in water, up to 1 meter or 3.28 feet. So let me go ahead and dial the number for you here. And I also want to point out, while we're waiting for this to ring here, as I'm making the call, the camera and the camcorder also work underwater. So it's a great novelty for the kids as well. So you can be underwater, play with the camera, camcorder, and have some special moments underwater. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but here it's ringing. Okay, I'll go ahead and put it back under the speaker, under the water, so you can see it underwater as well. Okay, I'm going to open it. I'm going to answer it. Okay, and I'm going to put you on speakerphone here, and I'm going to talk to you, and you can hear it ringing. You can hear the speaker volume here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it back under the water so you can see it work submerged underwater as well. So I think this is a fantastic piece here for you, and you're going to have, the phones are a little too close to each other, so it's making a little bit of noise, but you see it's wet in every way, but you can still hear it work. You can still hear the speakerphone going, and I'm going to go ahead and hang up, and let me go ahead, and while the phone is still wet, while it's still underwater here, I'm going to go ahead and make a call while it's underwater. So you're going to see me, I'm going to call my number back, I'm going to put it underwater, and here in a second, you're going to see my phone ring. And here it is. It's ringing right here. So I can hit talk on here, and now I can talk, and now I can talk, and we're good, and we're connected here on our phone. So it works underwater even. So it's pretty cool. It's a novelty. It's neat. So really it's designed for those special moments when it falls in a puddle. You pick it up, you dry it off, and you put it back on your hip, and you're good to go. But it is protected. So remember, guys, this is available exclusively at Sprint. So please make sure you stop by your local Sprint retail store, your Sprint dealer, or contact your Sprint business representative, and they will give you more information on how the Kyocera DuraMax can be a great success for your wireless needs. Thanks very much, and you all have a great day.